All right. Good evening, everyone. Hope you all are doing well and had a great trading day. Let's take a look and see how Bitcoin closed today, what's going on. All right. So, just as I kind of expected, we have another compression candle. So, remember, I was telling you guys this morning that that's kind of what to possibly look out for is this compression candle. Um, let's take a look here. So, as far as price goes right now, it looks like we just started off Saturday's candle here. I'm expecting honestly through the weekend we do not want to see price to be expensive tomorrow. Neither do we want to see that on Sunday. So ideally, I would like for price to stay within this range, even within 63,300 to 63,613. Um, ideally, barely doing anything, that would be great, and just staying as compression candles, whether they close bullish or bearish. Now, will that happen? I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I'm looking for right now. This did kind of close, in my opinion, a little bit bearishly. Friday's candle did. We took out this high right here by just a smidge here. It looks like we took it out by a couple $100. Um, this could potentially be a swing high, so that's something to definitely look out for. This candle right here, we do want to see it stay within this range overall. If it does try to be more expensive, we do want it to see it just stay within this pattern that I drew right here, okay? So we don't want to see it exit this pattern if it is going to be expensive. But overall, didn't get a bullish close, unfortunately, in my opinion. Um, this could easily expound downwards. This candle can. Not that we want it to, but I'm just forewarning you that we could see it. I don't know. See, Sunday was expansive. It could be something like this where it's another compression. Hopefully, it doesn't have too huge of a range. This one had a huge range, unfortunately. But let me see if I can go back a couple of days and see if we can find a Saturday that was decent here. Yeah, so you want it to something like this. You want it to range within $1,000 range. Nothing major. This was perfect for Saturday and Sunday. So we want to see something like this maybe happen, and this would be great for a potential recovery, a bullish recovery from that, and just kind of eating this candle. So, anyways, guys, that's what I'm expecting on the daily. Let's move into the 12-hour. So, the 12-hour. Let's see here. Yeah, it kind of shows the same thing. This was that double top we were targeting. It took that, but it found a lot of sensitivity against this 64,238 area. So honestly, I'm probably gonna keep this area on my chart. This is part of my fib tool right here. I'm gonna get rid of that, but I'm probably gonna keep this one on my chart right here, just to show that that's like an area of potential resistance. So that's something to look out for in the future. Now, as far as where we are right now for the week, we do want to stay above this weekly open. If we close below it, we're going to close like a bearish doji candle or a bearish compression candle. You can see that right now we are above it, so it is more of a compression candle, but it's still somewhat bullish. We do have like a tweezer bottom here. But if we close this bearish, that's not a great sign for the bulls, right? Let's go ahead and move into the 8-hour. So the 8-hour kind of showing the same thing. Nothing changes there. Let me see if the stochastics are getting reset. So it does look like our stochastic range is up on the high side. We do have to probably come down with this. Honestly, guys, I'm hoping that we don't do too much this weekend. Like I said, on Sunday there's a good possibility that we probably will get a dump if we do have a bullish week next week. So just be aware of that. But for right now, within these next upcoming days, I want it to stay within this ascending triangle potentially, and then figure itself out from there. Let's go ahead and move into the 4-hour. So the 4 hours had many compression candles now, which is good. So hopefully that trend will continue. Again, we don't want to see price range too much, so hopefully this one will close compression as well. Let's see, 1 hour. So one thing I was seeing, as Friday was progressing along, was I was kind of seeing a diamond pattern. So when it comes to the diamond pattern, You can kind of see it right here where you kind of have some wicks up. Actually, you know what? Let me draw it from. I apologize for my drawing. I don't have a drawing pad just yet, but you can take a look here. So diamond patterns are usually about 90% of the time they are a reversal pattern. So price goes the opposite direction that it came in. So essentially, you have this big candle right here, how price came in. I would expect it to come back out that same way, and that would technically be testing the bottom of that ascending triangle right there if that were to happen. So this is kind of what I'm seeing for right now as far as patterns go on the 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin. I am leaning a little bit more bearish in the smaller time frames for right now, just because they're not looking too great. We just started a new daily candle. We're going to have the weekly close in a couple of days, and obviously Saturday and Sunday hopefully won't have too much price action. So I'm not thinking that there's going to be any sort of, or really seeing any sort of breakout potential to the upside for Bitcoin within the next upcoming hours by any means. So let me take a look at the 15. The 15, yeah, it doesn't look that bullish to me. It looks more like it's a rounded top. Kind of have like an Adam and Eve type of vibe to it. Head and shoulders, maybe you could call it. You could kind of see this shoulder, head, right shoulder right here to the downside. So definitely not seeing anything bullish for Bitcoin as of right now in the smaller time frames. 10-minute looks like we're going to get that golden cross where the 21 crosses over the 200. We're going to lose that. So anyways, guys, I'm again going to probably stay out of the market. I stayed out of the market today for the most part. I did do a long scalp basically from here up, so I took profit early on that, but there's probably not going to be any major expansive moves for the next at least day and a half, or hopefully until Sunday evening. I would hope to see an expansive move there. Let's go ahead and move in now to our liquidity chart, see what's going on there. So as far as liquidity goes, you can see that on the 15-minute, we do have quite a bit here of concentrated on the yellow side. So around 63, 180 it looks like. Let's go ahead and start at the 4 hour and kind of drill down into it like we usually do. All right, so one great thing is that we're starting to get a lot more concentrated liquidity up to 65,674. So you can see here that, this is on the 25x liquidity pool. We do have a lot of, liquidity up here to potentially come and take eventually. 10x still shows that pool. Obviously, we have a lot more liquidity down here. We've been building this up, though, so this is nothing, new for us, right? But we have a lot of liquidity down here to potentially come and take. So if price does want to come down, it can go ahead and grab this. But so far for this weekend, nothing on the 4 hour for short-term price action. There's no real liquidity to come and grab quickly on the 4 hour. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's go into the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour, we have liquidity on both sides. We do have quite a bit of a decent amount of this green liquidity at 63,187. So that's definitely a potential where price can come and take that. Let me see if there's any sort of 786 retracement right there. I'm just curious. So if I take from bottom to bottom, yeah, you can see that we do have the 786 level. Where is that at here? Let me turn this off real quick here. We have that at 63,141. So our 786 level is at 63,141. That would put us below weekly open, so we would want to see a strong reaction before Sunday for the weekly close to stay in a bearish position. The other level, obviously, to take out would be probably the rest of this yellow liquidity at 62,300-ish area. So that would be another, basically taking out that wick right there. So that would be another area to target as well. I believe that if we were to extend this 786 down to this wick right here, you can see that it starts diving into this. I think I even drew a line right there, 62,754. So that would be a potential as well. Let's go ahead and for the time being, since we're on the 1 hour and this is a good time frame, let me draw some lines for you guys for some prices to keep track of here. So We have 63,132, around 63,130 as a short-term target here. We have 63,610, which is showing us, basically resistance at this point. You can see there's some 1 hour candles that aren't able to get above it, that wicked above it, but, ultimately they failed to close above it. So 63,610 is our local resistance. 63,132 would be our local support. So hopefully we kind of range within here for a time being. Obviously if we break out of either one of these ranges, let's say it's to the downside, you would then be looking for 62,754, and then all the way down here at 61,711. And then if we were to break up to the upside, you would be looking at 64,325, which is basically around where this wick topped out at. And then further above that, taking out this liquidity, and you can see there's some really nice yellow bands of liquidity here at around 64,777. So those are your kind of support and resistance lines for the time being when it comes to Bitcoin. Let's take a look. Yeah, so the 50X really shows a lot of that red liquidity up above. You can really see it. So anyways, guys, that's for the 1 hour. Just kind of keep these levels in mind. You can pause the video, write these down. 15-minute. So for the 15-minute, it really looks more so like we're going to probably head down to 63,180-ish area, 63,200. That's what I'm seeing for like a short-term perspective. Obviously, anything can happen in this market. Not financial advice, but I'm kind of expecting if we were to somewhat recover this weekend, you'd want to see this pool taken out and then a bounce to happen and basically have enough strength to get above this 63,610 and possibly take out this liquidity right here. So that's kind of shorter term perspective on Saturday, maybe part of Sunday, seeing this happen, right? Kind of this, bullish case, we would consolidate, move on up. Bearish case, we could even hit this, get a reaction, and then come back down again to take out more liquidity, or we could just possibly even chop around within this range right here, okay? So a few different options that I'm seeing, but ultimately nobody knows what's going to happen. I think the best thing that you can do is, like I said, have these support and resistance levels in mind that I gave you guys. Taking a look at Kiyotaka, our order book heat map here, you can see there's orders on both sides of the market, so it's going to be really difficult to see, and tell where price is going to go first. It does look like we have room to go literally on either side. I mean, the orders are fairly light short term up here at 64,000, even before then at 6,300, and then even down here at 63,000 even. So honestly, it could probably go in either direction. Like I said, I have more of a bearish bias for right now. Not that because I'm in a trade, but because it is showing that diamond pattern, and those usually break down or break up depending on how they were entered. So this one was entered from the upside, so it's going to come back down the opposite direction to the downside. So that's kind of where that bias is coming from, and also where liquidity is as well. So anyways, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Again, I will be updating you guys on Saturday and Sunday. Will be one video a day, but I will be giving you those updates each one of those days. So take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon.